G'day all, David, the train guy from the Hobby Man by Hearns. With today, we're going to do something rather exciting and from the 1980s, and something that's been longly anticipated and waited for. Today we're going to do the Hornby's representation of the British Railways Class 370 Advanced Passenger Train P. Now, we've got them in two different train sets, or train packs, not sets. Okay, so we've got the 7-car set, and we've got the 5-car set. And we will just do some unboxing. Okay, now starting with the 5-car set, you get, as per the box, you get 2 drive units, you get 2 combined composite brake vans, I think that is the term in English used. So we're talking something with a guards compartment in it. And you have got the non-driving power unit in the middle, which with its pantographs. So, okay, here we go. Now, rather attractive box. And yeah, definitely emphasising the 1980s colour scheme. Get rid of that. Very unusual, sort of like no ice cube packaging this time. It seems to be the egg crate material. All right, you get a set of instructions, and it talks about the different combinations. So we're using terminology such as driving trailer second class, which being the actual drive units. Oh, where are we? Yeah, this guy here, the driving unit. So you get 2 of those. These guys, you get the brake van, as they call it. Where are we? Trailer brake first. And now, interesting point about this train, as when it is made into a 5-car combination, I might better describe this with the box. Passengers weren't able to walk from one end of the train to the other because of the electromagnetic effect of the drive unit in the middle here. The train was effectively isolated into 2 positions. Yeah, interesting use, bit of trivia, but yeah, interesting. And it sort of like comes clear why that was the case with some of these other sets. Now, and in box 2, you get the core of the whole train, which is the drive unit. And you get another combined brake trailer. Nicely gift wrapped. Right. Okay, so not ever seeing the real thing in real life. I'd imagine this is a really good representation. There's a lot of in-molded detail, but there's not much in the way of external detail, but which I would imagine would be the case is because when designed, it was designed with an emphasis on aerodynamics and keeping a very clean, smooth finish to it. But we have tinted windows. We've got a full interior, which is lit. A little bit of stenciling on the back here. Huge long bogies. And we have a cab interior. Now, the whole purpose of the advanced passenger train back when this was developed was that railways around the world in most developed countries, and especially in Europe, were recognising the competition they were getting from road and air transport. And passenger numbers were starting to fall away, or people were starting to move away from not using trains. So, and because of England had its unique situation, wasn't actually unique, but their situation was that they had 100 years worth of railway infrastructure in regards to curves and tunnels and cuttings and bridges. And they weren't in the position like a country like Japan where they could just rip it all up and start again. So they had to work with what they had. So they came up with this innovative idea of a tilting mechanism, which would have been like when the train went into a curve, it would actually tilt. Now, I don't think this is really meant to be represented on a model like this, but it's very much like a motorcyclist going into a curve with a pillion passenger. You would go like that. And that was the concept with the train too, it would turn. Now, the APT went through a long period of development in the late 60s in concept, and then building a prototype, which is a turbine powered unit, which hopefully we'll have a picture of, and then in its final form as an electric powered consist orientated or intended for use on the west coastline. Throughout its troubled development, which blew way over budget and had a lot of engineering development issues, things were falling behind. And by around about 1982, 81, I believe, there was a lot of pressure put on British Rail to actually get the APT into service. And it was probably shoved into service a little bit too soon because they weren't able to meet their deadline of 1988. It was introduced, I think, for development trials and limited use in 1982, and I think by 1984 the whole project basically came to an end as it was seen to be unfeasible, not achievable to get it operational, and just falling back to using conventional HST 125s. But anyway, on with the next part of the model. That is the what they term the brake trailer. So you get one of those. So 2 dummy drive units, 1 brake trailer there, another brake trailer here, and like I said before, the drive unit. Now this is really quite weighty. It's got a really nice satin finish. Again, huge big bogies. Obviously there's a minimal amount of detail on it, but you got some, looks like, I think they're steel handrails, pantographs, which are directional. Got this wire along the top, which I'm not completely sure what it does. I think it might have something to do with electrical cooling under high voltage. These things apparently created so much electromagnetic effect, like I said before, passengers weren't able to transverse through them. And I've just noticed up here, it looks like you have little windows, a little bit of brass etch, like a grippy type catwalk. There's very limited stenciling. And you have these magnetic couplings. Now, just looking through this, you get the basics about where to oil it and fitting of DC decoder chip. So it'll take a 21 pin decoder. And there's just little notes about unclipping the pantographs. And in the 5-car set, the only thing you have to worry about is just the 1 set of pantographs. I'll just get that out of the way. All right, now our test track is clearly not going to be long enough to have the full length of the train displayed, but what I'll endeavour to do is just give you an idea of how good it looks in part, and you'll be able to see the lights. Now, there we go. So I don't know whether you can see that, but we actually have lights inside there, and they have a stay alive too. I've just noticed before, when you do take it off the track, it tends to still work like a torch. Now you have directional lighting. Now I can't show you that, but we have lights down here for going forwards and red when it's trailing. Now we'll give it a friend. Now the other thing too is that there's no clips between or no power connectors between the carriages. So there's nothing to worry about there, everything's self-contained. And just to demonstrate the stay alive, it's still running. All the interior lights are running. Now I notice in first class, the interior is red. You've got little like airline seats with like fold out dining tables, or tables. Yeah, and that just shows you how that is just a dummy unit. Now, like I said before, with the drive unit, it's got these magnetic couplings. Hopefully I got that around the right. Always have your power turned off before you put your train on the track. Wrong combination. Yeah, there you go. You got a really strong magnetic connection. Well, there is our train. We're still 2 carriages short. Well, that's the basics. Now, if you want something a little bit more impressive, there's the 7-car set. Same style of carriages, but you just get more of them. In this case, you will get 2 of the non-driving power units, which you can go back to back, and you get a first class carriage here somewhere. So that looks impressive. If required or wanted or desired, you can go to a 14-car train with the additional packs if you would like those. You'd have to be sourced them or get them specially ordered in, but I think a 7-car train or a 5-car train looks sufficient, yeah. Well, anyway, there you have it, a bit of contemporary British railway history. Short-lived in service, but a long time in development. If you are interested, yeah, just go to the rail page and go to Hearns online or Hobbyman online, or come in the store and see it for yourself. We'll be happy to pull it out and just show it to you. Any order over $100 is postage free within Australia. And there you have it. We only have limited numbers, so if you are interested, I would suggest get in quick. Okay, well there you go. Until next time, happy modelling and bye for now.